Hey, woman of valor, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a place where you were holding on to hope with everything in you, but it felt like nothing was happening? I mean, you prayed, you believed, you worked, and still crickets. That's the kind of waiting that makes the heart heavy. But in Proverbs, it says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. But it doesn't stop there. Thank God it doesn't. It says, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Now, I want to talk to you today about the tension between deferred hope and manifestation. What happens when what you saw in the spirit finally shows up in real life? So let's go ahead and dig in because I believe some of us are closer to the manifestation than we think. So let's start with the first part. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Have you ever been there? Maybe it was a dream job, a relationship, a breakthrough in your finances, or even healing in your body. You knew God gave you the promise, but the wait, oh, the wait is what gets you. And the Bible gives us so many examples of people whose hope was deferred. It makes me think of Abraham and Sarah. They had a word from God about having a child, but it didn't happen for years. Years. Imagine Sarah walking around and seeing other women with children and thinking, God, when will it be my turn? And then I think about Joseph. He had this big, bold dream about ruling. But before that dream came to pass, he found himself in a pit, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison. We just be real for a minute. Waiting can feel like the place where dreams go to die. But here's the thing, deferred hope doesn't mean denied hope. It doesn't mean the promise is off the table. Sometimes it's just delayed because God is working on something in you before he can release what's for you. The waiting season is often the preparation season. But then comes the second part of that verse. A longing fulfilled is a tree of life. Whew. Let me tell you, there's nothing like seeing the promise show up. When God brings the manifestation, it's not just a relief, it is joy. It is a joy. Think about when Sarah finally held Isaac in her arms. She said, God has brought me laughter. And everyone who hears about this, everybody who hears about this laugh will laugh with me. That's the kind of joy that overflows, that spills out and touches everyone around you. Or how about when Joseph finally saw his brothers bowing before him? The dream he had as a teenager, it came full circle. You intended it for harm, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. That's what Joseph said to his brothers. And manifestation isn't just about the thing you've been waiting for, it's about seeing what God saw all along. It's the moment when you realize every tear, every delay, every disappointment, and every rejection was working together for your good. So let's talk about this. When you see what you saw, manifestation happens when what God showed you in your spirit aligns with what you see in the natural. I need you to catch this. The promises of God don't start when they manifest. They start when he speaks them. When God gives you a vision, that's the seed. In every prayer, in every act of faith, in every moment of waiting is watering that seed. So let me break it down with an example. Say you've been praying for financial freedom and God gives you a vision of yourself debt free, giving generously, and walking in abundance. That's what you saw, right? But right now, you're looking at bills piled high. So that gap between what you see and what you saw is where faith steps in. Faith says, I might not see it yet, but I know it's on the way. And here's the key. When manifestation comes, it won't feel like a surprise. It'll feel like confirmation. You'll say, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I saw when I closed my eyes and prayed. And let me tell you, when you see what you saw, it hits different. It's not just about you, it's a testimony of God's faithfulness. Now, I know some of us we're in our waiting season right now, and it can be hard sometimes. So let me give you a few ways to hold on to hope when it feels deferred. So the thing is, stay in your word. God's promises are your anchor. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself of what he said. Write it down and speak it out loud and stand on it. And you want to surround yourself with visionaries. You need people around you who can remind you of what you saw when you're tempted to give up. Community is powerful. Don't try to do this alone. And celebrate your wins, even the small ones. Sometimes we're so focused on the big thing that we miss the little signs along the way. Every step forward is worth celebrating. It's proof that you're moving closer to what God promised. So, woman of valor, I don't know what you're believing God for, but I do know this: the promise is worth the wait. Hope deferred might make the heart sick, but don't let it make you give up. It is coming. And when you see what you saw, it'll be better than you imagined. So if this message blessed you today, let me know in the comments. And if you so choose, put in the comments what you believe in God for. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, and remember, you're not just waiting, you're growing. So stay faithful, stay hopeful, and watch God do what only He can do. I'll talk to you soon.